position the camera and try to figure out exactly how to say, "Hey girls, I look like a fucking nut job in here." Okay, I want to stand up, so. Hey everybody, how y'all doing? Josh clocking in, obviously transitioned and slightly black browner and slightly whiter. Nice to know you, Rami Malek. Every time I say it, I know I think twice about whether or not it's Rami, Rami, or Rami. Anyways, what's in Carly's pockets? Josh and the mental institution goes, Divas is this. Welcome to the club. I get weed from the cannabis substitution program, which substitutes your mental health drugs for weed for free if you are a downtown east side and low-income resident of Vancouver. Rhinestones. I got these from Dresso. They say my name on them. The person asked how to say my name today. It was very sweet. Well, how to write it. Sorry, how to say it. Sorry. I kind of see it the same way because someone thinks Kayla, which is my legal name, Kayla, is Kyla, and I got that all the time. Just so you know, I used to get that all the time when I was a student at St. Paul's Catholic elementary school, Catholic secondary undergrad. I don't know what that means anymore. How many ways can you say primary, junior, and intermediate coded? Because it was a K1 through 8, K through 8 school. It's K through 8 school specifically. I attended St. Paul's for SK, which I repeated, by the way, because I did my first year of SK underage. Because they made me repeat the grade because I passed it too early. They just kept me with my age group. They say, "You're speeding ahead a little bit, Kayla. I love that you think teaching the students how to read is fun at 4. You're great at that sometimes, but they are getting upset that they cannot read, Kayla, so you have to stop." And I said, "I know. I kind of know that. I kind of know that that's the point. I kind of know that they're like, I shouldn't be reading, you should be reading, teacher." I am 4. And I get that I got in trouble for reading to the other students, but if I'm reading incorrectly, no one's told me it's wrong, by the way. Everyone says I'm a very good reader. My Dresso receipt. I used to be a great mathematician, and then a failed mathematician because I couldn't do basic substandard. I dropped out of physics because I couldn't pass the kinematics unit. I liked optics a lot better. I understood mirror drawing and mirror design, and I understand that that's usually where your artist ends up in science because you end up with how did these get created in bulk? Why do they all look exactly the same, like they're printed on? Oh, focus. You know? How it's made. I'm gonna make eggs. I'm gonna see if this is enough to make an egg earring. We'll see. I have a little bit of spare change left over because the last thing I got were these sequins for the edges of the eggs. I'm excited for my eggs. Egg earrings. Okay. Now that we've emptied out Carly's pockets, there's just a pen in here. Another A&W receipt. What else is new? My jacket is my jacket. Thank you to the amazing humans that dress over being nice. And like, I know who you are, but like, what's your name again? And I'm like, that's fine. You call me Brett, that's not stupid. I use it on my Starbucks app because I see it as my like colonial issue project app. Where's my shuffle this morning? At the right volume. And coming in on So I let that entire song play all 3 minutes and 48 seconds, just so you know that the next song is a black artist. I didn't change it. I do really get what you say. Sorry, I just meant to use black hair. How about this one? Eh? You all can do with it. Here's not being so different. It's a nice show. Sylvia Plath. It's always a really interesting. It's like I fucking hate this musical. It is so obnoxious. It's so funny. I love it. I love Ordinary Days. I really do. You know what I mean? Like I don't hate it. It's so obnoxiously correct, and you all know why it's correct that Adam Guan wrote it okay. It has to be. Like it literally has to be. understand who shows up for people. I understand why people show up. I'm aware of it. I really care that part of the room involve holding space for silence and what's not funny. I would also like my thank you. The character I like some like what character that I play. I don't want to play this character though. I would like this to be here and perspective, you know. At the very least, so we can develop a conversation about why I'm not happy with synthetic things at all, at all, at all. That would be where you cut it for a dance competition for a group of 12-year-olds. We're going to do a quick TLDR discussion on what the legal collateral is for something like Drag Race, because I know the application for Drag Race is on the internet, just so you know. The application for Drag Race is on the internet, and the application for messaging someone is also glorified on the internet. What about it? If you, as a local girl, start LYING about your attitude, bitch asses, just because the friend group who trusts you right now doesn't notice, doesn't mean that's not the group of apologists to me, just so you all know. I will not work for the Israeli military like that, Nutter. If you think your local scene revolves around this girl who works for the Israeli military, I'm sorry to break it to you, but that is not unceded land. She works for the Israeli military legally, just so you all know. I don't personally work for the military. Uh-oh. Carly dropped out of McMaster, who was funding the military, and when he was working for the legal military, he was. Because I was antiing from the inside with a BLM professor and a couple more. Sometimes you are inside the military industrial complex and you find out halfway through that the degree is the military industrial complex. You have to have good teachers inside of this, just so you know, because they're the ones trying to get you out nicely. Nicely. By that we mean we're trying to change things from the inside too. Hi. My name is Hartley Reed Schuyler, and if you know me, I would have looked like this in 30 more seconds. Thanks. Hi. I don't think no one can take a boy growing out his hair. Besides the point. Hi, I have been running TA style lectures to collaterally disadvantage the conversation around the military industrial complex. I guess like to re-advantage the conversation that will deny the military industrial complex their funding, because I think we should be aware that we want the idea of these Marvel movies to come to a halt correctly within inside the civil rights movement protecting Black people. International peace delegations look like they were videotaped, right? I'm just gonna start and stop it there, because if we can't get past the part where Israel is winning, I think we agreed that Captain America is like Falcon, right? Like Falcon's the new Captain America. So if we have the new Avengers, I'm thinking I have a new hero, and the Avengers are my Suicide Squad again. Okay, just because you don't understand the concept of the Suicide Squad movie in DC, you should as well. If a group of collateral individuals, wherever they may sit in a spectrum line of like the drag performers of colonial Canada, the drag performers of Vancouver, BC, the drag performers who have performed in Vancouver, BC consistently over the last year and a half, which does include Van Gogh, by the way. This chart is a global chart because we play global all stars, okay? So if you attached yourself to me, and anyone who was one of the 13 contestants in the NB6 competition, it is your responsibility to know who was raced in that group. Whichever ones of us called ourselves white, you should have known as a group of white Black individuals how to talk to mixed race children. Thank you. There's a reason why this is 30 minutes on YouTube and Spotify if you want to find it. Because you're supposed to figure out who's mixed race based on what Disney princesses you already got in your lineup and which ones you need to add when you look at the Disney princess chart. I think it's clear that we're missing light-skinned proud family girl who is the bully, okay? I get that. I get that they can be the light skins. Don't worry. Like, we can bully each other like this. You know what I mean? Like, I won't bully you, the blacker girls. Like, whichever ones you want to put, look, with me, we can like go over here. I'll be like the third one. You know what I mean? If you catch all the flagging you do, hi, it's Veronica. Veronica from Y2K, obviously. Black Lives Matter, Veronica. Black Lives Matter, Veronica from Heather's, by the way. This means A. This means A. This means B, though. So I'm gonna go Black Lives Matter. Lowercase b, all Black Lives Matter, but Black Lives Matter. I can't do this one very well as an issue. So when you all start to realize that like someone can't move the top of their hands the same way, they also can't. Do you know what I mean? I know how to get to D from here. Learn from deaf people means not understanding why certain groups want ASL to look like that. And I'm like, I'm gonna chop myself for being like rude to the group, I guess, but whatever. Why are you so punitive as a group? But thank you. There we go. Whoa. I want to listen to it. I'm being nosy about my audio. Okay. When you all understand this is glorifiedly just like this trans guy singing through tracks, trying to figure out what his voice sounds like anymore and like which roles I'm technicality allowed to play without the wig on, the answer is different than you think. Whatever. Sorry, this is my Hamilton look. This is my Hamilton look. My eyes are too black. This ends up being my Hamilton look. Alright. No, I give it back in. It's supposed to sound like this. You like it? About it. I'm like, I'll show you what A word. You don't have to. You don't have to. You don't have to. Easy. Convince them otherwise. I love you. Come on, bring over people. Yeah, yeah. You forget Lafayette. I don't the regret. You accumulate power. You accumulate power. I'll leave this guy for here because I fear his murder doing way more than that. He is broken in the mind. If you satisfy everyone, that really from the wine so quickly. Alas, I admit it. Then it's got to quit it. Listen, God, it is so rude. I'm so excited. I am so excited to watch Hamilton get rude, guys. Like, Lemon goes, if you're not a narcissist, you're not doing drag. I said, yeah, like, sure, Lemon, I agree. If you're white, yeah. If you're black, maybe you respect the art form. Maybe you respect the idea of crossy dressing. Maybe you respect that some of us don't get paid without those contacts in. Worse than you know. Worse than you know, girls. Worse than you know. Should we do one more shuffle? I appreciate that this is legal commentary, by the way. This isn't like smart commentary. This is like, if you think I'm not gonna just talk like this as a brown eyed bitch, I will. I appreciate I'm light skinned, but it is that bad. It is that bad. There's absolutely no respect for a bitch with no contacts in most rooms because of this. Because I started a bitch. This is such a specific way. Like, it's obviously very positive. I don't know how Carrie ever to carry through that. Like, it'll be good to start with. Yeah, this is like way too much. I noticed. I go to Washington. They have the representation. You type through. This is that. This is that. And everything else, oh, so obvious. I'm just aware of this show. It's obvious what this show. Yeah, that's factor. Okay, and at 46 minutes, that concludes this. Um, what is a pop culture class gonna look like in a second? What is a pop culture class gonna look like in a second? When celebrities are getting involved with world organization. Sorry, I thought I paused it, but I guess it didn't disconnect the right way. Sorry. Yeah, at 47 minutes, like go for class a minute early if you gotta jet to the next one. Congratulations, you just made it through class. You just made it through university class because sometimes this is what it looks like. The teacher says, okay, after reading and consuming all of that information, come back next week with a thesis about what you listened to and why. Go.